Well, good evening again. But it is my joy and my privilege to welcome you to campus tonight as we celebrate Founders Weekend and welcome a new class of inductees to our academic halls of fame. It is hard to believe, and I'm going to look at our students and our faculty, hard to believe that in how many days, Ashley? 23 yesterday, 22 days until we graduate an amazing class of members, including Ashley, that's why. The class of 2025. With that, Southwestern College's 140th year will come to a close. The academic year jumps from one event to another. Deadlines, midterms, finals. It all goes too quickly, especially April. And if we're not careful, we can easily take it for granted and our time together on this hill. Founders Weekend really allows us on campus to take a moment in this incredible sprint to the end for us to catch our breaths. So we invite alumni and guests of the college to campus in celebration of the missional work of this important institution. We recognize the significance of Southwestern College as we recognize the individuals who represent our college so well, who have worked hard and given so much of themselves in service to others, in service to the greater good. The words we hear tonight and tomorrow remind us of what all this is ultimately for: to change the trajectory of lives for the better through a liberal arts education, through the building of meaningful relationships. Founders Weekend reminds me that someday these students are wonderful, in the middle here, which is where they should be, who we're honored to share campus with today, will earn their place in one of these halls, I have no doubt, through the good that they will go and do in the world. I know our students are preoccupied currently by eating, but by finals and graduation, they're anxious to begin summer internships, graduate studies, jobs, and grand adventures. And let me say, we are anxious and excited for you too. But students, I encourage you all to focus on the words of our inductees tonight. Hear their stories of transformation. Know and believe that this kind of honor is a possibility for each of you. It is our joy to celebrate three builders who in their lives, work, and service demonstrate the ideals of the Southwestern College. They are Dr. Thad Leffingwell, class of 1992, Gray Cole, class of 2010, and a trustee, and Ina Turner Gray over here in the lovely yellow. These are three incredible people and great builders. They have committed to teaching, mentoring, encouraging, researching, building. They are people of great character who have demonstrated openness and empathy, who serve others. And that is what we are called to do in leadership. We serve with our hands, our feet, from our hearts, to make the world a better place. Our inductees, three leaders with hearts for service and the drive to do as much good as possible. We are grateful to you and of your work. Thank you for being builders. Thank you for joining us here tonight so I can share my gratitude. Thank you for supporting our inductees, the Division of Social Sciences, and the future of Southwestern College. And at this time, I'm going to welcome our Master of Ceremonies, again, Dr. Jacob Goodson.
So some of you may not be finished with your meal. That's okay. We encourage you to continue as we move forward with the program this evening. The mission statement for the Social Science Division is to promote multiple approaches to understanding ourselves, others, and the forces that shape society, to equip students for reflective engagement in the world. We are here tonight to celebrate the work of equipping. It is work in progress for those of us who are here at SC, and it is the fruit of that work evidenced in the meaningful careers of our Hall of Fame inductees. We have two honorary categories this evening for recognition. First, Pi Gamma Mu, and then the Leaders in Service Hall of Fame. We will begin by courting the graduates for Pi Gamma Mu. Pi Gamma Mu is the National Honor Society for the Social Sciences. We at Southwestern College hold the distinction that this honor society was started as a joint effort between Southwestern College and the College of William and Mary in 1924. We are pleased to be able to honor students who are studying and preparing to be persons who make a meaningful contribution to the world. Your hard work and dedication is noticed. Your commitment to academic discovery matters. As the saying goes and broadly applies, it is true with academic pursuits. You get out what you put in. Dr. Michelle Greenwood, Assistant Professor of Psychology, serves as the faculty advisor for Pi Gamma Mu. I would like to invite her forward to introduce our graduates.
Thank you all for being here, and I'm very proud of our honorees today. So there are 5 of the Pi Gamma Mu students with us this evening. Well, I don't know if all of them made it, but they're graduating this spring. They're heading out to take their next places in the world. And as I introduce you all, will you please come forward to receive your honor cords, okay? I have Ashley Johnson with Psychology with Political Science major. Sorry, Ashley. Here we go. Okay. Here's your certificate. Here's the sticker. Here's your board. So make sure you wear those on graduation day. Okay, awesome. And if you'll just stay, you can stay up here for a minute. Is Trevor Peterson here tonight? No? Okay. Andres Ramirez. He has a business administration with minors in Christian discipleship and youth ministry. Okay, so here's your certificate. Here's a sticker. And here's your cards. Make sure you wear those for graduation as well. Okay. Cindy Rodriguez, are you here? Yes, good. She has a major in psychology, so you can give her a hand. And then we also have Grace Weisenhunt. Is she here tonight? I don't think she is. So, with a major in psychology. So those are our 5 graduates this year. Very proud of you all. Thank you, and good job, and a job well done this year. So thank you.
Thank you all.
Right.
You can be seated. Tonight, the highlight of our honorary recognitions are for 3 persons who have, in different ways, dedicated their lives to the service of others. We are thankful that they model servant leadership for us, but especially for our students. Our inductees help us understand what is possible when armed with a curious mind, vision, and a hopeful spirit. The Southwestern College Leaders in Service Hall of Fame for the Social Sciences was established in 2009 to honor alumni and friends who have taken their education and enriched our world by offering their time and talents as leaders in service to others. It is right and fitting that we recognize these worthy individuals for their efforts, and the college is privileged to be a part of this honor. I would like to call your attention to the beautiful glass creations on the table beside me. These one-of-a-kind awards will be given annually to Leaders in Service Hall of Fame inductees. They are handcrafted by Mr. Scott Hartley, class of 1997, a Southwestern science major who went on to use his artistic talents and his knowledge of science to become a master glassblower. We are fortunate to be able to give these unique gifts to our inductees to permanently remind them of their place in our Hall of Fame. Presentation of the 2025 inductees. I am grateful to introduce Greg Cole. Greg graduated from Southwestern College with a master's degree in leadership in addition to an executive leadership certification. Greg served in the United States Army and National Guard from 1975 to 1999. After retiring, he became the Director of Training and Operations for numerous Fortune 500 companies, including Pizza Hut and Burger King. Greg co-authored the state's first food service curriculum. He also co-authored the military doctrine for effective time management. In 2010, he created Good Life Company, LLC. He serves as a CEO and chairman, and in 2014, it became a national distributor. Greg is a certified civic leadership coach of the Kansas Leadership Center. Greg serves on the Board of Trustees for Southwestern College, Board of Directors for the Kansas Grown Farmers Market, and past president of the Heartland Black Chamber of Commerce. Greg is a frequent guest speaker and motivational facilitator throughout the state of Kansas. Greg can be seen frequently on PBS Network for several television programs. Additionally, Greg has a wonderfully supportive, engaged, and fun family. Greg is a true builder of people. His kind and curious spirit make him a wonderful representative of our college. It is an honor to recognize him tonight as he is inducted into the Leaders in Service Hall of Fame. Greg, please come forward now to accept your award.
And then you get to talk.
I can promise you this, I will be brief. I did take the opportunity to look at 6 previous winners of this award just to see how long they would talk. And it ranged from 28 minutes to 11 minutes. So I'm gonna kind of go in between and just stay right there. I was doing good until I met Miss Ina. I was doing real good. But we have someone here, guys, that will be, can I just say it? July 25th, she will be 99 years old. Blown away. That made me forget everything I wanted to say. And I encourage the young folks that are in her family to get yourself a recorder and sit down and talk to your grandma or great-grandma and get the history from where she came from. Because I can guarantee there's a lot of history there. I miss my grandmother. I learned the most of everything in my life from my grandmother. I never lived with my mother and father a day in my life. And I met my mother when I was 18 years old. She has advanced dementia right now in Maryland. And that's still my best bud. So I value having women in my life, and my grandmother leads that charge. But I've been fortunate, though, since I've been in Wichita, Kansas, to meet some wonderful women. I can say wonderful women that is directly responsible for me being who I am. And I want to start with those women first. And that is my mother-in-law, which is over here. My mother-in-law is one of the, she is one of those people that you want in your life, that's supportive of everything that you do, that is protective of her daughters. She has 3 daughters. And so I'm proud to know my mother-in-law, because, and I've never used that term, I call her my mother. And so we ride around together, we shop together, we do flea markets together, we travel together, we do everything together. And if my wife is not available for lunch, guess what? I got to back up. And so she raised 3 wonderful daughters. And I had the good fortune of meeting one of her daughters the first time in Wichita. When I got here on a Saturday, I moved into my apartment complex. I was single, and I lived right across the street from Wichita State. I was still on active duty in the Army, and I had on my uniform. I was in full regalia, and I walked into Wichita State University, and her sister, the one that's standing up in the red jacket, is Carla Echols. Now, if you don't know that name, Carla Echols, if you've heard of Edward R. Murrow Awards, it's like the Oscars of radio. Well, not only is she local, but she's national. And so that's the middle daughter. But she walked out of her office and said, "Excuse me, do you go to church?" And I lied. I said, "Yes, I do go to church." And she said, "Well, I want you to come to church on Sunday because my sister will be there and my husband." So I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go to her church." I went to her church. I met her sister. We've been married for 35 years. So we've been together 35, we've been married 34 this year. So I kind of like to think that I do have some leadership qualities because I picked the right one. And so 2 of her daughters are here. The other daughter, which is the baby girl, couldn't be here, but I asked if I could at least mention her name, and she said, of course. Well, her baby daughter is the COO of Dow Corporation. That is second in command. And so she's raised 3 beautiful women, all in leadership capacities. And so I've learned to try to situate myself around people that are leaders within themselves. And so I had the good fortune of being in the military for 25 years. I did make a terrible mistake of getting out of the Army and thinking that you could govern yourself the same way that the military taught you. After 25 years, I came from a regimented society where you do this, you get in the trash can, you get out of the trash can, you take orders, you don't listen, you do this and you do that. That doesn't work in civilian life. And when I realized that, I went back to school and I said, I am going to get me a degree in leadership after meeting a gentleman named Ed O'Malley. Now, Ed was the president of the Kansas Leadership Center, very good friend of mine. He is now president over the Kansas Health Foundation. But I saw Ed speak one time at a leadership conference, and I'm listening to him, and I said, whoa, I want to be a part of that organization right there. And I think I went home, I told my wife, I said, I'm going back and get me a degree. I'm going to get a master's degree in leadership, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to just tell them how qualified I am to be a part of that organization. Well, I did that. I went and got the degree and everything, and we were sitting around one day, all of us that were in KLC, and we were talking about education. And as we were talking, I said, so what kind of degree do you have? What do you have? Still today, I'm the only one in KLC that has a master's degree in leadership. Everybody had degrees in everything else but leadership. I made the faulty assumption of assuming that everybody had degrees in leadership. However faulty it was, it benefited me well. I am a true blue mound builder. Let me make sure I am clear. I am a mound builder, and here's the catch. There is a mound builder everywhere. Everywhere there's a mound builder. I remember my wife and I being in Las Vegas at a McDonald's at 7-something in the morning. And I saw this young lady with her mother in the line, and I looked and I saw what I thought was our logo. And I looked, I said, I gotta ask. So I went up to the young lady, I said, excuse me, where's that from? And she said, you wouldn't know. It's a small town in Kansas. This is her talking to me. She said, it's a small town in Kansas, in Winfield, Kansas. It's called Southwestern. I said, girl, you a mound builder? She just lit up. Now her and I are chest pumping at 7 in the morning at a McDonald's. And our mother's sitting there like, oh boy, here they go. My wife standing off to the side. We just happy to see each other. I've met mound builders everywhere. I see a mound builder every weekend at the Kansas Grown Farmers Market, every week. And I have so many pictures on my phone of just mound builders. We are truly everywhere. And so I am grateful. I don't even know who nominated me for this award, but it's personal for me. It's real personal. Just this past year, I received an honorary doctorate degree in leadership from a Christian university. I received a Lifetime Achievement Award for leadership from the President of the United States. I received the highest award as a veteran from PBS for Veteran of the Year. None of them, I appreciate them, but none of them feels like this. Absolutely none. Southwestern is a college, and I have to say that, and then I'll leave by saying this. When I first discovered Southwestern, I was looking to go to school, and I said, let me find the best possible opportunity I can. And I looked at all the other schools, the K-States, the Wildcats, and all WSU. I live right across the street from there. But I looked at all these schools, and I found Southwestern College. And I said, that's the school that I'm going to go. Not thinking about the campus, because I was doing it as professional studies. And I looked and I said, I'm going to choose this school. Well, I took the first 2 classes in leadership here, and I got an A, and I got an A+. And I said, okay, this is my school right here. This is my school. And at that same time, I said, this is what I'm gonna do. I am going to work so hard that I want to become a magna cum laude. That's all I kept thinking. It's early on, but I wanted to be a magnum. Is that the highest you can get? I wanted to be a magna cum laude. So every time I would get up, I would put my clothes on, and my wife would say, where you going? I said, I'm going to school. And I would go into the next room, and I stay for hours. And I did that for an entire year plus of going to school, getting A after A after A after A. And so I ended the school year with a 3.95. And I said, that's it. I am a magna cum laude. Well, at the same time, Dr. Merriman was here, and I was the Professional Studies Alumni of the Year. And so he asked if I could give the commencement speech. And I said, absolutely. And so I'm thinking, though, when I saw the program, that I would see all your cum laudes on there. And I'm looking all over the program, and I'm like, there's no mention of none of this in here. So I reached over to Dr. Merriman, true story, guys. I said, where's the stuff for the cum laudes? He said, we don't do that here. Y'all ever watch Jackie Gleason when he say, why I oughta? That's how I felt. And I said, I cannot believe this. I will put all that work in. And so that has always been the one thing that I've always wanted to preach. Start the program on cum laude and make it retroactive back to 2010. But guys, it is good to be in a class with Dr. Day. It's good to be with a Scott Heck. It's good to be with a Mike Lennon. It's good to be with a Kim. It's good to be with all these folks that have come before me. And now I got Thad and I got Miss Ina. So I am grateful to even be here, to be nominated for such a position and for a position of such prestige. I'm grateful, and I'm also blessed. So thank you for letting me have this moment in time to be with you this afternoon. I love Southwestern College, and in closing, I will say this, that from a leadership perspective, of being with the Kansas Leadership Center, 25 years in the military, teaching for Southwestern in all their leadership courses, very seldom do you run across somebody with leadership qualities that range from A through Z. We are fortunate to have a college president that has hit the range from A through Z, from attitude to zeal. We are fortunate to have Dr. Liz as our president leading us into the future. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank all of you for coming out today. Miss Ina, I'm so happy for you. Thad, I'm happy for you. We are now part of this crew. So thank you guys very much.
Thank you so much. Our second inductee this evening is Dr. Thad Leffingwell, a member of the class of 1992. Dr. Leffingwell graduated from Southwestern College and went on to earn a master's degree from the University of Arizona in 1995 and a doctoral degree from the University of Washington in 2000. He then joined the Oklahoma State University faculty and is now a professor of psychology. His proudest accomplishments are the 15 graduate students he mentored on to doctoral degrees and amazing careers. He has held several leadership positions at Oklahoma State, including Director of Clinical Training, Department Head, and currently Assistant Dean in the College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Leffingwell won the Beverly Thorne Award for Distinguished Service from the Council of University Directors of Clinical Training. He also earned both the Regents Research and Regents Teaching Awards from Oklahoma State University. As a first-generation college graduate from a rural community in Kansas, Dr. Leffingwell fell in love with the magic of college campuses at SC and continues to find ways to offer the same life-changing opportunities to students. Tonight, we are so pleased to recognize his work and service as we induct him into the Hall of Fame. Please come forward at this time to receive your award.
The purple, by the way, that's a really good one. There are pictures. Okay, now you get to say words.
Thank you, I will.
Absolutely.
Good evening. I had one hope for tonight, and that was, Lord, don't make me follow Greg Cole. I really wanted to go first, so well done, Greg, and to Greg and Ina both, congratulations. It is really, truly an amazing honor to join this group, to see the names going by, and in some cases, very terrible photos of some people that I have known and respected for so long. Is really an incredible honor. Thank you to President Liz and to the division for giving me this honor. Now, as I mentioned, I'm a college professor, so I only speak in 50-minute increments, so settle in. When we start, it takes 15 minutes to turn this off, so no, I will try not to take too long. I do want to recognize, excuse me, some of the people at the table I'm so glad have joined me here tonight. First of all, my wife, Kim, who also built her in 1992. We met on my very first day at Southwestern in President Carl Martin's backyard, about 40 yards that way, at an ice cream social for brand new freshmen. And I've been trying to impress her ever since. So this helps. I think this is helping me tonight. Also joined here tonight by my daughter Claire, my oldest daughter Claire, and her fiance Aaron. I have two other kids who cannot be here tonight. My son Quinn defended his master's thesis this afternoon to earn a master's of public health. Yep. And my youngest Josie is finishing her junior year at Hendrix College and has a tennis match tomorrow, so she could not be here either. So I'm also joined by a couple people who were so important to my Southwestern experience and to my life today. The first of those is my best friend in college and roommate the entire time, Dr. Brian Dennett, right up here. Brian was such an inspiration to me throughout college and really throughout my life, and helped me become a better person every day that I've known him. And he paid me to say that. And he's joined by his wife, Debbie, who kind of entered our lives along our Southwestern journey. And I still remember the night after their first date, Brian wouldn't shut up about her. So, and we all know why now, Brian. Also joined here by Dr. Charlie Hunter. Many of you may know, longtime professor here at Southwestern, an incredibly important person in my life at Southwestern. Charlie was my advisor, my favorite professor, as with many, and an incredible inspiration and support for me. When I decided I wanted to do sports psychology while I was at Southwestern, Charlie is a marine biologist. The next week I saw him, he had an article he found in a magazine on sports psychology that listed some sports psychologists. Do you remember that? No. And we, with his inspiration, we contacted all of those people and said, hey, can I come spend a Jan term with you? Remember Jan term? And one of them responded. And I went and spent a January in Houston with a sports psychologist, and that helped spring me on to my career. And I'll start with Charlie tracking down information about sports psychology. So glad you're here, Charlie, and thank you for all you've done for me. Now, as Jason mentioned in the bio that I wrote, I came to OSU. I'm used to speaking on behalf of OSU. I've been there almost 26 years. I first came to Southwestern as a wide-eyed kid who had never been on a college campus. I'm the first generation college student. We did not have means to pay for college. I was pretty lost when I arrived on campus. I was fortunate in a lot of ways to have a lot of supports, one of which was my parents, who were very supportive of all of my college and many years of training after college. And even though I swear for the rest of their lives, they never really understood what I do as a college professor. They were supportive of it and proud of it. But as I thought about coming here to talk to you all, I thought about the incredible supports in my life that made it possible for me to come to Southwestern. As mentioned in the bio, when I tell students today even why I became faculty, I say it's because when I got on a college campus, I fell in love and I never wanted to leave. They are magical places. And an important part of that is I almost immediately, having arrived here, felt like I belonged, felt like it was for me, felt like there was a place for me here. And I was here only through so many different supports I can't even, I'm sure I'll forget some, but some of those supports included Pell Grants, Kansas tuition grants. Listen, y'all, I could list them all. I got all of the grants, all of the financial aid available. I was on a presidential scholarship. That presidential scholarship was underwritten by donors of generations of builders before me who saw fit to pay it forward and give kids like me a chance. There were other scholarships. They might have made up scholarships for me because I needed all of them to come to Southwestern. And when I got to Southwestern, I was able to look around and find people like me. I could find other kids from rural backgrounds, and I could find college professors who looked like me, had backgrounds like me, came from places where I came from. And it made me feel immediately at home. Now, would it surprise you if I told you that all of those things I've described, the environment that I walked into, the grants that supported me, the scholarships that provided for my needs, that those were all examples of diversity, equity, and inclusion. They were opportunities that were created with forward-thinking people who realized that people like me needed opportunities that might only exist for other people. That without those, people like me, a rural, relatively poor, first-generation kid from very rural western Kansas, might end up underrepresented in a place like college. And there were things put in place to help support my opportunity. And I know I don't look like a diversity, equity, and inclusion person, but I can tell you that I am. The same vision and purpose of those programs, of Pell Grants, of Kansas tuition grants, of presidential scholarships, are the same that exist in DEI programs on campuses all across America. And I'm sorry to bring you the bad news tonight, but those values are in fast retreat. They have been under attack on our campuses. On my own campus, we have scrubbed and eliminated even the words diversity, equity, or inclusion from our websites, from our documents, from our procedures and policies. We have literally scrubbed the words. If that doesn't send a chill down your spine, it certainly should. Campuses are self-censoring because of the threats that they're under for what is a good thing. I'm just going to say it out loud. Nobody seems to be saying it these days. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are good things. They're good things. They should not be political hot potatoes or hot button issues. Diverse, equitable, and inclusive are good descriptors of any campus, any workplace, any community. And I just wanted to take the opportunity when I had a podium tonight to share that and to encourage you to join me in the fight to remind people that diversity, equity, and inclusion and those ideas are what allowed a kid like me to come to college and earn a college degree. It allows me today to stand in front of freshmen at Oklahoma State University and challenge them to see who came from a smaller town and to remind them that this place is for them too. This place is for everyone, and when we give talented people opportunities to succeed, we all win. Diversity, equity, and inclusion benefits everyone. Everyone. So that's enough soapbox from a college professor tonight. That's why I wanted to go before Greg Cole, because I've known Greg a little bit, and he's so much more exciting than me. I did want to mention one last thing, and that is that I recently learned that both Brian and Charlie are also Hall of Famers. They are in our Natural Science Hall of Fame before me. How did that happen? I'm not sure. Now, when I texted Brian to invite him to join us here tonight, he mentioned to me that, oh yeah, I'm already in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, he mentioned that. His comment to me was, yeah, I think they thought I was going to die. A few years ago, he fought and beat cancer, and I don't know. So I had two thoughts immediately when he said that. Three, maybe. First, that's hilarious. Second, of course not. Of course, you deserved it, and you're certain to be in there. Maybe not before me, but you should be in there. And my third thought was, do they think I'm going to die? Thank you so much for this honor, and again, thanks.
Thank you so much. Our third and final inductee of the evening is Ina Turner Gray. In addition to Ina's induction to the Hall of Fame, the Board of Trustees will present Ina with an honorary doctorate this evening. At this time, I invite the Chair of the Board of Trustees, Scott Hecht, to come forward.
How many were in your graduating class at Elkhart High School?
37.
23. Now we're turn to Ina here. Ina earned her Master of Arts from Scarrett College, Nashville, in religious education and church history, and she completed postgraduate work in sociology at the University of Hawaii. While it was her husband, Dr. Wallace Gray's position as a faculty member that brought her and Wallace to Winfield, Ina also got to work here, spending her professional life developing learners and building community. How many people here had Wallace for professor? A whole bunch of us. So, yeah. For 20 years, Ina served as the executive director of Pi Gamma Mu, International Honor Society in Social Science, retiring in 1996. She offered thoughtful, creative leadership to Pi Gamma Mu, a society that has offered enrichment to thousands of faculty and students. Notably, Pi Gamma Mu was founded here at Southwestern College, as we heard earlier, in 1924 by Dean Leroy Allen. While on a teaching trip with Wallace in Hiroshima, Ina started tutoring Japanese students, helping them with the English language. When she returned to Winfield, she continued tutoring English to Japanese and Chinese students at Southwestern. She co-taught the Pacific Area Seminar, which took 22 Southwestern students to Hawaii during the 1966 airline strike. Ina also co-taught Jan terms at Southwestern on Hawaii, Japanese language, and culture. An advocate for the preservation of history, Ina worked many hours in Deets Memorial Library right here on campus as the first director of archives of the Central Kansas Methodist Conference. She also managed the First United Methodist Church Winfield archives and helped organize the Cali County Historical Museum archives, where she also served on the board from 2002 to 2012. These days, Ina continues to help others learn and grow, as she enjoys spending her time reading to the Little Vikes preschoolers at Cumbernauld Village. She also is a very good friend to President Liz, and she continues to be a strong supporter of Southwestern College and its students. She has cared for Southwestern for nearly 65 years. And tonight, as we induct her to the Hall of Fame, we will also formally acknowledge that she's a mound builder through and through, as we confer upon her an honorary degree, doctorate of humane letters. With that in mind, we'll formally confer the degree. President Liz. Please present the candidate.
Would you care to come with me, my friend?
Yes.
Okay. There's the code. There's the diploma. Do you want to give it to her? You actually are the one that does
If I'm supposed to, I'll
You're
do it.
supposed to. Yes, I think you're supposed to.
All right. By the power vested in me by the Board of Trustees, By their action, I confer upon you, Ina Turner Gray, the degree of Bachelor of Arts, with all rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto pertaining. You drape the hood.
I draped the hood. I'm going to do this, Ina, for you, since we don't have you in regalia because you look beautiful in yellow. But I want to point out how purple it is.
Yes.
Yes.
So friends, please join me in congratulating our fellow mound builder and an official member of the class of 2025, Dr. Ina Turner Gray, on this attachment.
Give this to you. Then I say a couple words, but you stay right here. So we're not really sure. I mean, I just want to say, if you haven't figured out, we're doing things a little differently around here. We have been for a while. So we just kind of, honestly, we kind of do what we think is right. Call me crazy. So I'm not really sure the college has ever conveyed an honorary degree at a Hall of Fame ceremony, but we thought this made the most sense. That we can honor Ina in this environment with half the room are Ina's family. And I am so grateful that we get to honor Dr. Ina Turner Gray. And I'm the first person to get to say that to you.
Yes.
She is truly a friend of mine. I see Ina regularly, and Ina may look very sweet, kind, and lovely, and she is all those things. But I will also tell you, she asks me really hard questions. So I go visit her, and she offers me a seat on her couch. We talk about some things, and then she asks me, and I love it, really hard questions. I need people in my world like that. So thank you. So I'm grateful for her friendship and support, and I'm so excited that we get to recognize her. So again, congratulations. You want to say a few words? And I think you've got some words there. Would you like me to move this down? Do you want to sit down?
No.
Okay.
I'll be here.
Okay. There we go.
Thank you, President Liz. I'm the most surprised of anyone about this, and I appreciate this great honor. My extended family is here from 7 states, and they want to express their gratitude as well. Would my family please stand? Thank you for coming. I had wonderful parents, Ferris and Talor Turner. If they could have been here this evening, they might have thought I had finally lived up to their aspirations for me. They always said they wanted me to amount to something. On the other hand, my parents may have wondered that all this recognition would give me the big head. And they certainly didn't want that to happen. Seriously, the opportunities we found at Southwestern College enabled Wallace and me to live a storybook life. A year in Hawaii, going around the world, 2 years in Japan, and always there were students everywhere. In fact, it was $1 million life. And so I say to Southwestern College And to President Liz, thanks a million.
I know we gotta do this. We just gotta see this and get a picture of this.
Oh.
Because you gotta have it. I'm gonna hold that like that so we don't break it before you get home. Got it. Okay, I'll put it back over there. Okay, I haven't broken it yet. I'm pretty proud of myself.
Okay.
As it is for Greg Cole and Dr. Leffingwell, I again want to congratulate our 2025 inductees. So let's do it one more time. And I'm going to hand it back over to our Master of Ceremonies to conclude our event tonight. Thank you all for coming.
Congratulations. You're a Dr. Gray. On behalf of the faculty and administration, to our Pi Gamma Mu students and honor students, thank you for your thoughtful engagement in your studies. Thank you for joining us here tonight. To our Hall of Fame inductees, thank you for your contributions and service to our world. Thank you for the example that you have set. Thank you for being builders. Thank you for your care and for your continued support of Southwestern College. To all of us here, please let us know of other worthy mound builders and friends of the college who should be nominated for the Leaders in Service Hall of Fame. On the inside cover of your program, you will find a link where nominations may be submitted online. Please take a moment to consider deserving mound builders and help us recognize their contributions. You'll also find in your program a schedule of coming Founders Weekend activities. Before we leave tonight, I would like to thank Fresh Ideas and the team who organized this event. Please join me in an applause. I would also ask all the recognized individuals and families, as well as the social science staff and faculty, to remain for group photos. While that concludes the official program, please feel free to stick around as long as you like. Mingle and chat, catch up, or meet someone new. As a reminder, there is also a concert that started 6 minutes ago featuring a cultural exchange with Pakistan happening right now in RPAC, and all are invited to attend. It has been our pleasure to host you all on campus this evening. On behalf of the Social Science Division and Southwestern College, thank you for being with us tonight. Have a good evening.